Hi, I'm Dennis from Accountants Desktop. This video will demonstrate our instalment variation workbooks for PAYG, GST and FBT. For non-subscribers, all workbooks can be purchased together as a calculation package. You can view any specific part of this video by using the links below to jump straight to that section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up below and don't miss any of our future videos by clicking on the subscribe button. These workbooks will provide you with a very efficient way to manage your client's instalment variations. They're actually standalone versions of the sheets found in our BAS job papers. So if you're not taking advantage of those work papers, you can still use these individual calculators separately. They'll do all calculations for you for each tax type and store them in one file for that financial year in your document management system for easy retrieval. Each workbook also comes with a DIY worksheet which can be used for any purpose, including copying and pasting supporting records. This is our GST instalment variation calculator with some sample data already loaded. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the GST instalments summary table, where you can enter either the ATO instalment amount or your varied amount for each quarter. Further to the right, you'll see two tables, one for recording taxable sales and the other for recording taxable purchases. And in each table, there's a column for each quarter where you can enter annual GST exclusive amounts for the variation. In our sample, I've calculated a variation for the September quarter and easily updated a subsequent variation for the March quarter by copying the prior quarter's figures, which are unchanged, and adding an amount for significant unanticipated repairs in that quarter. This is our FBT instalment variation calculator, also with some sample data loaded. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a summary of the ATO instalment amounts and varied amounts as applicable. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a table into which you can enter details of the projected benefits which form the basis of your variation. These are annual amounts. In our sample, I've calculated a variation for the December quarter and updated the instalment for the March quarter to account for a reduction in car fringe benefits. And at the bottom of that table, you'll see details of the calculation of the instalment amounts. When doing estimates of car fringe benefits, you can use our standalone calculator to estimate the taxable value. This is our PAYG instalment variation calculator for companies with some sample data. Apart from differences in the way income tax is calculated, our PAYG instalment variation calculator for individuals is the same as the company sample on screen. At the top of the screen, on the left, you select the settings applicable to your client to ensure correct calculation. Below that is a table where you record details of instalments for each period. For most users, you can generally ignore the monthly rows, as a majority of your PAYG instalment payers will probably have a quarterly cycle. The table has two sections, option 1 for clients using the instalment amount method, and option 2 for those clients using the instalment rate method. You can vary instalments under either method in this calculator. As with all of our instalment variation calculators, when doing a variation, it's very important that details of prior period instalments have been added, otherwise the calculations may not be correct. Links on the left-hand side of the summary table will take you to an area on the worksheet where you can copy and paste profit and loss reports to support your calculations for each period. You click on links on the right-hand side of the table to prepare calculations for a variation for any period. Below the table are some general instructions on using the calculator. Looking at the sample data, I've pasted a profit and loss statement for the September quarter for demonstration purposes only. On reviewing the instalment for the December quarter, I've decided to lodge a variation. I click on the variation link and enter projected annual amounts for income and deductions. Although not applicable in this example, you can also add any capital gain on which the client would like to prepay their tax liability, deduct any tax losses brought forward to be claimed this year, and enter details and amounts of any rebates, tax offsets, or franking credits. The worksheet will calculate the estimated tax and instalment rate for my variation. Details for each option, including calculation of any credit, is displayed here. This company did not choose to vary the March quarter instalment, and the amount paid has been entered at the summary. For the June quarter, based on tax planning advice, the company decided to purchase some equipment which it could write off in full against its taxable income. There was no other change to the projected income and deductions used for the December quarter variation. So I've copied and pasted those figures to this screen and added the deduction for new equipment. Consequently, the company's projected annual tax has been reduced, and after deducting prior instalments paid, the reduced instalment payable for the June quarter has been shown at the summary. The process is almost identical if using option 2, the main difference being the columns to complete in the PAYG instalments summary table. And if the company pays an annual instalment, select that option from the PAYG instalments table to vary the instalment amount. I should mention that you can override all of our calculated amounts and or rates by entering your own figures in the DIY cells. This will allow you to use a rounded or more conservative figure for the variation. Thank you for watching this video on our instalment variation calculators. Don't forget, if you liked the video, please give it the thumbs up below, and don't miss any of our future videos by clicking on the subscribe button. My details are shown on the screen, so please feel free to contact me for any further information.